Now, look, if you watched a number of my Season 6B as well as Season 7 related content, then you know Tony and Danny will become a thing. And Preston, he's going to be yesterday's news. But based on the introduction that Tony had in this week's episode, I feel like we can all just groan to ourselves about what in the world would convince Danny to even give this creeper a chance. Now, in this particular scenario, we have Tony introducing himself seemingly in a normal way at the airport. Hey, we actually work here together and I just wanted to say hi. And then he enters creeper territory by just rattling off everything he knows about Danny through overheard conversations. And I mean, yeah, they park next to each other, and we know Danny can be pretty loud in regards to the way, she communicates with others in person or on the phone, especially when she's had a few a few hits of her weed. And regardless of that, I feel like, and maybe I was the only one, but did anybody cringe when Tony was just rattling off his information? Like, look, let's be real here. We've all pulled a creeper on someone we've crushed on social media. And by going through the Instagram or their Facebook or whatever, you feel like you have an understanding of this person. Oh, I know what they like. And oh, we like the same music and the same food. And I saw her friend list and we have mutual friends. And yeah, if you introduce yourself to somebody for the first time, let's say you meet them officially for the first time, but you've had brief interactions. Maybe you haven't said a single word to each other, but you've maybe seen each other in class, or perhaps you work in the same building. But if you come out of nowhere and just list off everything, yeah, you're going to come across as a creeper in so many ways. And Tony, from saying he doesn't have that many friends, like, bro, I know what that's like in regards to being a hermit and being socially awkward from time to time. I get that. But the way you just presented yourself to Danny, even if she wasn't seeing anyone, she wouldn't accept that drink. But let's be real here. Juniper at 10 o'clock. How much you want to bet she's going to go there and meet him for drinks? Now, here's where I think Danny is going to pull an Andy. What's going to happen? Her and Preston, for some reason, are going to get into some sort of argument or whatever. And you know how the women of this show are. When they are in their feelings with the main love interest, Andy, it's Gary. Karen, it's Zach/Aaron, typically. Usually Zach. Yeah. Karen, it's Zach. Danny, it's Preston. Sabrina, it's Calvin. Whenever something happens where they're in their feelings about, that man, because maybe they're upset, or maybe, the man is deciding to see another woman who is less drama, related, they go out with the first person they can think of. Basically, hey, that guy who showed interest in you, but you turned him down because of your other love interest, he's going to be your rebound. So in this case, I feel like maybe after, because if I remember correctly, Danny and the girls are going to go to Karen's, and then you got Andy's blind date, and then she's going to be there with Sabrina. I don't know what the place is called where they're going, but if it's Juniper's, she could run into Tony there. I don't know, but I'm wondering if, let's say, after Andy's date, the girls go home and it's still maybe around 8, 9 o'clock. Maybe Preston, I don't know. We don't even know if he's still high or not. Yeah, I don't recall if we ever... we didn't even get Preston mentioned in this episode. Only the fact that Danny says, I'm seeing someone, but we don't know what Preston's up to. Like, Danny went to work, but is he still high or what? So basically, I think that maybe Danni looks at Preston knocked out, or maybe Preston went somewhere and she's like, she decides to entertain the idea of going to see Tony at Juniper's. And yet again, you have a classic example of Danni interacting with somebody from work, aka a stray. I mean, during my live stream, I listed off as many as I could. You had Preston, Q, Logan, Jonah. Yeah, I've literally forgotten some characters. I know there's been a lot. I don't think El Fuego counts. I mean, well, I mean, yeah, they met at Club Eden. I know that he was introduced and he met with Sabrina, and then Club Eden, and then of course the airport. So yeah, he kind of counts. But anyway, it's like the long list of coworkers or customers at her job that she decides to go out with for one reason or another. And I just feel like when things start to get rocky between Danni and Preston, she's going to start leaning in towards Tony, and that's going to lead to these two interacting more, and Preston's going to go. Because we do know, I think in episode 14 or 15, the synopsis confirms that there's going to be a bit of a conflict between the two, and as a result, we're going to see Danni and Preston, you know, just going through it. And of course, anytime one of these women is going through some sort of disagreement or an argument with their quote unquote man, they go run up to lay in bed or go out with another man instead of having an adult conversation. It's kind of weird. It really is. But it's season 6. We should be used to it by now. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. And would you go out with somebody who knew all sorts of things about you, and you don't even know their name? I mean, would you just be too creeped out, or would you be flattered? Interesting. All right.